DS160 is the first step in the US visa process, and it is also the most important one. This is because this is a form that the embassy officer is going to have in front of him when you go for your visa interview. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the 5 mistakes which I see people make very commonly when they fill their DS160, and also how you can avoid those. Keep on watching. Hi guys, my name is Shachi and welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with another video on the US visa process. I have uploaded a few of them earlier. If you are interested, do check them out. I'm sure they're going to help you. So today let's talk about DS160. Now what is DS160? DS160 is the online application form which basically starts your US non-immigrant visa process. This is a form which is available on the US Department of State website. If you want to access the form, I will leave the link for that in the description box below. Now, today's video, I want to talk about the mistakes which I see people make very commonly in filling their DS160, and many times this is the reason why their visas get rejected. So let's get right into it. The first mistake that I see people make all the time is putting information in their DS160 which does not match with the rest of their profile and rest of their story. When you do this, what is going to happen is you will go for the interview and you will be saying one thing in the interview, and this might be the exact opposite of what is written in your DS160. And when this happens, this is obviously going to impact your chances of getting the US visa. Let's understand this with an example. Now there is a question in DS160 which asks you who is sponsoring your trip. The exact question is person or entity paying for the trip. Now in your DS160, if you write this as self, but in your interview, if you go and say that your family is going to sponsor you or your company is going to sponsor you, there obviously is going to be a problem because of this big mismatch between your form and what you're saying. Another example and another mistake which I see people make very commonly is details of their monthly salary. If you're working, DS160 is going to ask you to input your monthly salary, and this number should match with your pay slip and with what is coming into your bank statement. If there's going to be a big mismatch between what you have written and what is actually coming into your bank account, this is going to raise questions and impact your chance of getting the US visa. So to summarize, you need to make sure that the information that you enter in DS160 is accurate and it matches with your documents and with the rest of your profile. The second mistake which I see people make is trying to hide information about their passport and about their previous visa applications. So when you fill your DS160, there are 2 questions which are going to be asked. The first one is regarding your visa, and the question is, have you ever been refused a USA visa? And the second one is regarding your passport, and the question is, have you ever lost your passport or had one stolen? Now if any of this is true for you, please write in yes, and when you write yes, the DS160 will also provide a small description box where you can explain what happened. And when you write this explanation, you need to give a proper reasoning to it. Don't just write one single line saying that my passport got stolen or my visa got denied. No, don't do that. Write in 2 to 3 lines which explains what exactly happened. This is going to be important. A lot of times I see people lying here and hiding information and writing no where in fact their passport was stolen or where in fact the visa was denied. And there is absolutely no point in doing all this. The embassy officer is going to see right through it. So be very honest when you answer these 2 questions and give a proper explanation with it. The next point is for people who are working and who are going to put in their work details in their DS160. The first part is regarding your work phone number. I see a lot of people leaving it blank. Please don't do that. If you're working, it's very important to put in a valid work phone number for this particular question. It can even be a landline number, but make sure that you do not leave it blank. The second part is about your work experience. Now when you put in your work details, DS160 will ask you to talk a little bit more about your profile. And the question is, briefly describe your duties. And you need to be very careful what you write in here. The description should be accurate, it should be complete, and also it should be simple enough for the embassy officer to understand. When he reads it, he should know exactly what is it that you do. A lot of times I see people making it too technical, too complicated, which doesn't convey any information about their work. Also, people tend to make spelling errors and have grammatical mistakes when writing in this description. So what you can do is type out this description, do a spell and a grammar check, and then put it in your DS160. I have worked with a lot of US visa applicants and helped them complete and fill their DS160 accurately. It is such an important step in the US visa journey. So if you want to work with me and you need my help in completing your DS160 and even preparing for your US visa interview, then do check out the link in the description box below and book a session with me. The point is regarding the address details which are asked in the DS160, and this is a source of confusion for a lot of people. So in your DS160, there are two addresses which are going to be asked. The first one is the home address and the second one is the mailing address. Now your home address is sort of like the permanent address, and this should match with the address that you have mentioned in your passport. Even if you don't live there anymore, even if that address is not of any use to you, but still make sure that you put in the home address same as what is mentioned in the passport. The second address is the mailing address. Now this mailing address can be your current address. This is basically the address where your passport will be sent to once it is stamped with the visa. So it can be the address where you live currently, or it can even be your office address. So keep this very simple and make sure that you don't mess up with the addresses when you fill your DS160. The US visa process doesn't require you to book your flight or your hotels before you apply for the visa. But there is a section in DS160 which is going to ask you about your travel plans. It basically asks you whether you have finalized your travel plans. The exact question is, have you made specific travel plans? And what I want you to know here is, it is completely okay to put in no to this question, which means that your travel plans are tentative. And the reason for this is, if you write in yes here, then the form elaborates and goes on to ask you dates of your travel, places that you're going to visit, addresses where you're going to be staying at all these places, and so on. And these are the details which you might not have with you when you fill your DS160. Don't be pressurized to answer yes to this question and then fill in some details. It's completely okay to keep your travel plans tentative, which means that you will answer no to this question. All you need to do is have a broad timeline about when you would like to visit USA and a rough idea about the places that you want to visit and the things that you want to cover. So guys, these are the common mistakes which I see people make all the time in their DS160. So if you are filling out your form right now, please take care to not make these mistakes. I help a lot of applicants complete their DS160, get their documents ready and prepare for the US visa interview. So if you want to work with me, do check out the link in the description box below and book a consultation session with me. You can also reach out to me via Instagram DM. My Instagram handle is shachi.mal. It's right below. So that's all for this video. I have other videos on US visa process. Check them out. They're going to help you as well. And that's all. I'm signing off for now. I'll be back with another video soon. See you then. Bye.